I'm going to call the City Council meeting for June 23rd into order, to session. Find more papers. We're going to start with the invocation by Police Chaplain Jim McClellan, and I will lead the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? Salute.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Roll call, please.
Ambrose,
Here.
Kale,
Here.
Raymond,
Here.
Rochester is absent, Nelson,
Here.
we have a quorum.
Do we have any subsequent need items?
Mayor, there is none.
Okay. Do we have any adjustments to the agenda? If not, can we get a motion to approve as posted?
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
I think Ambrose said that first, yes? Motion by Kale, second by Ambrose. Raymond,
Yes.
Kale,
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
motion passes.
All right, we're going to have a couple presentations tonight. One will be by Supervisor McDaniel, but before that, we are going to give out a few certificates to the Mitchell Senior Cadets. During Open Cockpit Day at the Air Museum last month, there was a medical emergency that occurred there, and the cadets were able to help this person that happened to pass out apparently inside one of the cockpits. So I'm going to ask Mr. Alvarez to come forward, and I'll need a microphone, and he can give you more details.
and then Sergeant Carson Stillwell, whose parents are here in the audience, and then Corporal Leonardo Peñalosa. I don't know, is anybody here for? Doesn't look like it, but they heard the cries and hopped on the radio and radioed me, and then immediately ran towards the plane. Kazada and Stillwell and Lewis here are all CPR first aid certified. So they ran up to render aid. Luckily, there were some Merced County Sheriff's deputies who were nearby as well. And as they came in, they gave way to the sheriff's deputies, and kind of went into a supportive role, helped guide the ambulance to the plane, and kind of crowd control, and just helped wherever they were needed in this event. There was a letter of thanks from Air Museum staff, so I was going to go ahead and read it. It says, I would like to thank and recognize the contribution made by the 366th Battalion of the California Cadet Corps from Mitchell Senior at the recent Castle Air Museum Open Cockpit Day event. At this event, all of the cadets performed their duties exceptionally well, contributing to making a successful day for over 200 visitors and museum staff. There was one event that I want to highlight. A visitor approximately 75 years of age was exiting a nearby aircraft when he started to show signs of physical distress. The cadets from a distance away noticed and recognized a potential problem. They quickly responded, and with the aid of other nearby adults, rendered assistance. The cadets had radios and were able to communicate with other staff, which enabled a call to 911. Due to the quick response by all, this potentially serious incident ended with a good result. I want to call out a particular special thank you to the cadets and their commandant for helping with providing aid to a fellow visitor.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much. So let me hand out these certificates here. So for Sergeant Jace Kazada, there you go, sir. Okay. Sergeant Carson Stillwell is not here, but his mother's here. Yes, there you go. You've raised a fine son. And we have Cadet Jonas Lewis. There you go. And Corporal Leonardo Peñalosa is not here tonight, but we have one for him as well. So, thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you. Congratulations. Sure.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Alrighty, so now we're going to, well, let's see, we can let Darren talk first.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. Thank you very much for the opportunity to give you a brief update from Merced County. This week, the Board of Supervisors reviewed the proposed budget and passed it for Merced County, which totals of $1.15 billion. Proposed budget reflects a commitment of long-term fiscal sustainability while continuing to support the essential services of strategic investments across the county. A few highlights is public safety is still our number one priority. 78.7% of our discretionary budget goes towards public safety. We see an increasing support for mental health and behavioral health programs in HSA, although we are very cautious about that because of the ongoing funding cuts by the federal and state government. So we are looking at that. I know that affects Atwater as a city. We do take care of a lot of those services for you here in this area. Infrastructure investments are moving forward, particularly those connected to Castle Commerce Center. These projects will drive regional economic growth and job creation that benefit our cities, including Atwater. And we continue to prioritize fiscal responsibility, avoiding unnecessary debt while making data-driven decisions, balance current needs, and future obligations. As always, I remain committed to a strong collaboration here with the city of Atwater, and I appreciate my relationship with every one of you guys. And anytime we need something to discuss, anything we can help, I appreciate that very much as well. I did bring some sample dollars. We'd like to bring these to hand them out a lot of my mobile district office, which is Thursday from 1:30 to 3:30 in the Gary Brago room at the community center. And when we're there, I have these dollar bills that tell you whenever you pay your county taxes or your property taxes, exactly where those tax dollars go. So I'd like to hand these out. I don't know if you guys would like them or if I could give them to the clerk and he can pass them out. And with that, if there's any questions.
Anybody have questions? Nope, you're good
And
to go.
there is one other item I wanted to bring up that I'm getting some constituent calls on. I know this was Councilmember Raymond's project, but Bellevue going all the way out to the freeway. And I know we had a project man or somebody in charge of that. I've been getting a lot of constituent asking me like, where is that project? I know Atwater took the lead, and I think we've had a lead change maybe, and just wondering where we are on that and anything that we can do at the county to help you guys facilitate that, which I know we have been anyway. Would appreciate any input on that as well.
Mayor, if I may, absolutely. We love the collaboration, and I can follow up with you.
Perfect, thank you. That's all I needed to know. Anything else?
Nope.
Thank you very much.
All right, thanks, Darren. Okay, we're going to move on to the consent calendar.
Background information has been provided on all matters listed under the consent calendar, and these items are considered to be routine. All items under the consent calendar are normally approved by one motion. If a council member requests separate discussion on any item, that item will be removed from the consent calendar for separate action.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a statement. Since my wife works for the Central Valley Regional Center, out of abundance of caution, I'll be recusing myself from voting on item 13. Since this item's on consent calendar, I am not required to leave the room. Madam Clerk, my vote for the consent calendar will be for all items other than 13.
Okay. Is there any public comment on the consent calendar? Seeing nobody come forward, close public comment. Can I have a motion to
Mayor, if I may, can I pull item 7?
item 7? Okay. Any other? Want to be pulled? No? Okay, so let's have a motion then for all items except for number 7.
Except for number 7, 13 staying on the consent calendar.
Yeah, okay.
And his vote will just be as to the other items.
Okay.
Move to approve the consent calendar with the exception of number 7.
Second.
Motion by Kales, second by Raymond. I think, never mind.
Let's do the roll call vote.
Raymond,
Yes.
Kale,
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Rochester, sorry, absent, Nelson,
Yes.
motion passes.
Okay, so we pulled item 7, which is initiating proceedings for the annual assessments levy with respect to the various assessment maintenance districts for fiscal year 2025-26. The city manager will make a presentation.
So this item is an annual item that comes up every year for the maintenance districts. These districts help us do various things for various neighborhoods and subdivisions like lighting, landscaping, and so forth. We're required to have the proceedings here under state law in order for us to make any changes to those levies. And we have an engineer's report in the packet that explains, most of them are staying the same, some of them are going up and down a little bit, but I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Just for the last 10 years has been ongoing where I ask the same question is, are the residents getting what they're paying for? Because in good conscience, you can't increase a rate when the service isn't being provided. And so I know we've been short-staffed for a long time, so I just want to kind of see where we're at there.
Yeah, and Justin may be able to help with this, but we have Joe's Landscaping help us with the landscaping portion of it. And if there's any specific areas that need more attention, we're happy to look at that. But Justin, do you have anything to add to that?
No, yeah, that's correct.
Any other questions? Any public comment on this?
If we receive a complaint from somebody who says, hey, we're living in this area and it's not being done, do we just call you and you get a hold of the gardening or whichever group?
Correct.
And they'll take care of it?
Yep.
Great, thank you.
Okay. If there's no other questions, we need a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve staff's recommendation.
Second.
Motion by Ambrose, second by Kale. Raymond?
No.
Kale?
Yes.
Ambrose?
Yes.
Nelson?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay. So now we are on to public hearings. Item 17. But I have this statement to read. Before we move on to the next matter, item 17, I will be recusing myself from this item due to a source of income interest in Castle Family Health Centers. Mayor Pro Tem will handle the public hearing. I will step away from the dais and return once someone informs me this item has been concluded.
Item number 17. It is to waive the first reading by title only and introduce an ordinance adopting zoning ordinance text amendment number 2508-0100, amending chapter 13.63 parking requirements of the Atwater Municipal Code to modernize the parking ordinance. And we'll hear the presentation by City Manager Holmes.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. The reason that this is coming before the council is that the Planning Commission reviewed this item and recommended that the City Council approve this amendment to our zoning ordinance. What this does is it updates our parking requirements throughout the whole city and virtually changes the whole thing. We looked to other cities and found that the city of Merced has a really good, comprehensive, and modern parking ordinance. And whereas the city of Atwater, our ordinance is several decades old. So we're looking to do that upgrade. We've reviewed the different changes, and we think that they'll be business friendly. And this is the first out of many changes that we're looking to implement. For example, in the future, we'll be bringing another item that the Planning Commission reviewed, which is an update to the conditional use permit ordinance to not to get into that too much right now, since it's not on the agenda, but the idea there is to extend the time limits, or extend the expirations for those approvals, along with some other ideas that we have in the works to help streamline the ordinance, the zoning ordinance as a whole, and make it more business friendly and development friendly. So this is the first step. So again, the city of Merced has a good parking ordinance, and we're looking to basically copy it. One thing I'll note is that the city of Merced only requires one parking space for a single family residence. And one tweak that I made was to keep what we currently have for city of Atwater, which is typically two. There's an exception, but it's usually 2 parking spaces. So we're keeping that as is. I'm happy to answer any questions anyone has.
Questions from the council? None? Are there any public comments on this item? Seeing none, I'll close public comments. And so now closing the public hearing. Would any council member like to make a motion regarding this item?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Raymond, second by Ambrose. Ambrose?
Yes.
Kale?
Yes.
Raymond?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Mayor Nelson can now please return to the dais.
All right, now we're on to item 18, which is waive the first reading by title only and introduce an ordinance approving an amendment to the development agreement by and between the City of Atwater and the Ferrari Ranch owners to clarify the responsible parties for the construction of water, sewer, and stormwater infrastructure for the development located at APN numbers 005-120-045 and 005-120-046. And City Manager will make a presentation.
Thank you. I worked with the property owner on this update. This update is driven by the city, not by the property owner, but we had this idea to help prepare us for future development. And the city was designated a few $1 million for some infrastructure that would go between the Buhack Road and Gurr Road. And this amendment clarifies this so that we can use those federal dollars first and then have the remaining development leftover infrastructure paid for by the developer. It essentially helps this development happen sooner. So with this, the Planning Commission recommended approval. And for this item and the previous item that we heard, these are both the first readings were required because they're ordinances to come back at our next City Council meeting in July for the second readings.
All right, does council have any questions for Chris? Okay, seeing none. Is there any public comment on this item?
Good evening, council. Can you reconfirm the zoning in that Ferrari Ranch area from Buhack to Greer Road? Is it confirmed that it is and was changed previously to thoroughfare commercial?
You want to finish what you have
Well,
to say?
that's one question I
Okay,
have.
let's do it
Second
that way.
question I have is, how are all the lots, not just on the Ferrari Ranch section, how are they going to be allocated utilities? And will developers or property owners along the way have to supply and pay their fair share, or how's that going to be allocated along the process? Basically from Buhack, obviously to Gur, there's property on both sides, many parcels. I just kind of looking a little more understanding as to what and how each lot's going to get their stubs, and if they are going to get stubs. Very similar to the case where we most recently let a gentleman, I believe on, what's that street that's getting paved? Amelia, yeah. He got a sewer stub put in. Not sure how that worked out, but I was wondering if we can get some kind of confirmation as how utilities are going to get laid out to each property. It's the only questions I have.
All right, thank you. Does the public have any other questions, any other comments? Seeing nobody else come forward, I'm going to close public comment. You want to address those issues?
Yeah, the zoning is planned development, and as far as who all is responsible is with multiple properties out there and multiple pieces of the puzzle, there's multiple ways to do it, but the way that's contemplated is that there would be a main developer and a benefit district that would apply to other properties that would pay their share as they develop.
Okay. Any questions? Oh, okay. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Raymond, second by Kale. Kale,
Yes.
Ambrose,
Yes.
Raymond,
Yes.
Nelson.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, so our next report is 19. We have an update regarding fireworks enforcement from Battalion Chief and our Fire Marshal Carvalho and Police Chief McEachin.
Thank you. So we discuss about the fireworks for this year's in the city of Atwater. You'll look on the screen for the next slide. We have a map of the NAILA map that we have provided for the citizens of Atwater. It shows that in 2023, we had 95 reports of illegal fireworks in the area, and were cited, nine citations were given in 2023. In 2024, we gave, there was 43 reports, and you can see it's kind of more of a different area compared to 2023. Less reports, but a little bit more of a citations were given out. And then the map you're seeing right now is how much involvement was in those areas and how many of those calls were in the same, were reported for either the same call or multiple incidents in those areas. We want to talk about the how do we get here and how do we report illegal fireworks. We have the NAILA map, and the ways you can find it is, one, you can look up the social media City of Atwater page, their Facebook, their Instagram. There's ways to click on and link into, scan the QR code if you have an Apple phone or a Android. The next one is Atwater City Fire Department has a link tree where we created a page that has multiple items, but down below you'll see the yellow arrows. You click on that and it'll guide you directly to their page, and you scroll down through the pages, and on the bottom it will have another QR if you have an Apple or Android phone, and you just follow the instructions on how to have it on your phone and to report illegal fireworks in the area. Just a couple fire safety reminders. Just remember that never use illegal fireworks in the city of Atwater or in general. They are prohibited. Keep a bucket of water or a hose nearby when you're done using your fireworks. Wait 20 minutes if you have a dud firework before before picking it up. Don't try to relight it, and then give it time before you pick it up to put it in a bucket of water. Grill safely. Keep grills away from structures and never leave them unattended. And then probably dispose fireworks by soaking them pretty much overnight in a bucket of water. Just remember that the City of Atwater Police Department will be out there enforcing, and it will be a $1,000 fine if you get caught with illegal fireworks. Even though we can't control all the fireworks in the area, and we only have so many officers and firefighters out there trying to keep the public safe, another reminder is keep your pets safe. A couple things you can do is keep your pets indoor. If you hear fireworks in the area, loud bangs, loud noises, gives them anxiety and makes them panic, makes them run away. Create a safe place. Keep noise in the background, a fan or TV that helps them calm them down. If you have pets that have ID tags on them, a collar, make sure they're updated so in case they do run away, they can be returned back to their proper owner, or if they're microchipped. Once again, just another QR in case you guys want more information from the City of Atwater. It has a bunch of things in there, not just the fire department, but it also has a tab in for the fire marshal's office for any forms that need to be filled out. Pages to cooling centers, our general report, etc. Other than that, thank you so much. And if anybody had questions.
Any questions for the chief? Nope. Okay.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll add on to that. The Atwater Police Department this year is running a all hands on deck day for the 4th of July. There's 26 of us. Some of us have to work during the day for the festivities that happen during the day. Some will be assigned to traffic control for the fireworks show at Castle, but everybody else that we have available will be working firework suppression. As Chief Carvalho mentioned, first fine is $1,000. The way that our muni code reads, if you are cited a second time within 1 year period, it goes up to $2,000, and then it goes up to $3,000. So if somebody gets a ticket on July 1st, they're not free and clear for the rest of the festivities. They could still get another ticket either the next day or subsequent days, and it would double. We will have additional dispatch staff on as well. They'll be monitoring the NALM app, and they'll be taking phone calls from residents for fireworks suppression, which frees up the regular dispatcher for actual calls for service. It can get really easily inundated in our dispatch center when there's hundreds of calls coming in for firework related things, in addition to the regular calls that come in every day. Any questions for me?
So you do have real-time reporting with the NALM app? You're going to have somebody monitoring that?
Yes, we'll have someone monitoring as they come in. So they'll be able to dispatch the officers that are dedicated to firework suppression to the calls as they come in.
Okay, because that hasn't always been the case in the past 2 years. But what about the drone? We were promised that we had a drone and an operator, and they were going to be using the drone to search for this.
Two things. Our lone certified drone operator just became the chief of police in Dos Palos, so the drone will not be operated. The other problem with having the drone up in the air is the firework can easily hit the drone and shoot it down, and now we're out quite a bit of money.
Yeah. Okay. I just want to say, you know, it's important to realize that there's a difference between illegal fireworks and safe and sane fireworks, which are legal in the city. We have quite a few nonprofit groups that rely on fireworks sales to provide them with the money to do their nonprofit activities throughout the year. So while I feel for people that, you know, don't like fireworks, I'm not a real big fan of them myself, but the money that they generate does help our community. But it would be nice if people who like to do illegal fireworks would be not do them, or if they do, they get fined. And maybe we need to increase the fine, because I know other cities around us have actually increased their fines from 1,000 to 2,000 on the first offense. So,
And to dovetail on the Safe and Sane, they're very easily labeled with a Safe and Sane logo on them. If anyone's not sure, they can go online and just Google Safe and Sane fireworks. You'll see those actual certified logos. If someone's selling them out of their garage, they're probably not Safe and Sane. The booths that are set up, they are Safe and Sane and they're legitimate. But always check that label on the box and make sure it's there.
okay, thank you very much. Alrighty, so now we're going to move, we're done with all that. Now we're going to go to comments from the public.
At this time, any person may comment on any item which is not on the agenda. You may state your name and address for the record, however, it is not required. Action will not be taken on an item that is not on the agenda. If it requires action, it will be referred to staff and or placed on a future agenda. Please limit comments to a maximum of 3 minutes.
All right, so under the Brown Act, members of the public must address the council as the legislative body of the city, not other members of the public or staff. I'm now going to open public comment. Do we have any speaker cards?
Mayor, we do not have any speaker cards.
Okay. If there are any members of the public who would like to speak, please come to the podium now. Good evening.
Good evening to all of you. Okay, my name is Antonio Garcia, and Mr. Valenzuela is coming along with me. We have a suggestion about some problems that we're having, accidents at the corner of Juniper and Liberty. And we would suggest, if it is possible, that they can be posted stop signs in that area. So,
Yeah, I'm glad you bring that up, because I did turn that in. Some young lady from the high school sent me a letter asking for stop signs there, and we have turned it over to Public Works and the traffic engineer. They're looking at it.
okay. By the way, last Friday there was an accident there. You know, thank God no fatalities have happened, but a lot of people have gotten hurt. Okay.
Thank you for bringing
Thank
it
you
to our
very much.
attention. Anybody else? Okay, so nobody else come forward. I'm going to close public comment. And we'll go to council reports. Start with John.
Oh, sorry. Well, congratulations to the Mitchell Cadets tonight. It feels really good knowing that we have kids in junior high school who had the bravery and the knowledge to help somebody out like that in that event. So it's awesome that they came out, and it's great that we can award them. And you just gotta admire those guys. So congratulations, I want to say congratulations to the Castle Veterans Organization on a great Women's Veterans Appreciation Day last week. It was well received, and the recipients of that appreciated it greatly. I want to remind everybody, like the chief said down here, and the chiefs said down here, make sure we keep our fireworks safe and sane, have a great 4th of July, and be safe. And lastly, I want to bring up some pictures of a complaint I got from a young man, and he lives on Terry Court, and this is pictures of his street, and it's really, the cracks in this are really bad, and it's a court, and kids are out there riding bicycles, and it becomes very dangerous. And that next slide, please. And this is a crack that goes all the way down the middle of it, of the street. Next slide, please. Sorry I made them so small. And the sewer covers are all raised in that area. So if we could get out there and try to get somebody to fill in those holes and or find them money to fill in those holes would be greatly appreciated. And also up and down around Oregon and Wisconsin and Dakota too. So, and that's all I have. Thanks.
I would also like to applaud the Mitchell Senior Cadets. It sounds like they did an awesome job out there. Also want to say thank you, staff, for everything that you guys do. Chief, make sure your crew has a lot of water. I'm pretty sure it's going to be hot on the 4th. Residents, just be safe out there, and I'll see you guys at the next meeting.
Brian?
The only thing I have to say is just have a safe and happy 4th, and that's all.
Okay, I have nothing to add to that. So we'll go on to the city manager report.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to announce that I have city manager meetup. If you'd like to meet and talk with me and share your ideas about how we can improve the city, it's this Thursday at 1:30 p.m. at the community center on Bellevue. For scheduling for the 4th of July festival, it's the 62nd annual. 7:30 a.m. we'll start off with the run for independence. 9 o'clock is the parade, and from 9 to 4 is the festival at Ralston Park. And then from 6 to 10, there's a concert and fireworks show at Castle Commerce Center featuring Troublesome. Also, I'd like to remind everyone that if you'd like to come to the meeting and speak Spanish, we have Spanish translation services. Tenemos servicios para hablar español. Si quieren compartir sus comentarios, puede hablar con Joseph o Stephanie. And lastly, some fun news. Dutch Bros will be opening this Wednesday at 5 a.m.
Yeah, you're gonna be first in line now? No, okay. Well, I'll go by later, but I'm not gonna be there at 5 o'clock, sorry. Okay, so it looks like that we're at the end of the page here, so adjourned until July